Gilberts. I want to welcome you to my live call tonight with a question. How do you keep customers in times of uncertainty? And this is Free Friday, which means I'm going to open this up to people that have questions. And I posted earlier today, and I said, if you have a question, fire away. And so some did, and they came up with some good questions. So you saw a post I made, I think it was yesterday. My good friend Gordon Hester, who's a consultant to the profession and the Direct Sales Association. Alfonso, nice to see you. Annabeth, nice to see you as well. Anyway, my good friend Gordon posted on how well network marketing companies are doing. And I was speaking to our president and CEO of the company that I'm in, and tell you, we've not had a better month. This has been a record-breaking month. Incredible growth, a lot of people interested in wellness and as well as residual income working from the home. Eden, how are you? Yay, good to see you. And then Mary from Colorado, nice to see you, Mary. And let's see, hello from Japan, Hajime Mashite. Good to see you, whoever you are, because I don't read Japanese characters, but Hajime Mashite, nice to see you. Rocio, como esta? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, incredible growth that we're seeing in network marketing right now. Elena, nice to see you. And Yasnia from Belize, como esta? Good to see you as well. Oh, thank you. And then Elena from Los Angeles, Jody from Alabama. Good to see you, Jody. Hope you're doing well. And then we have, let's see, Rosia says California. Okay, there we go. There we go. It hasn't fallen into the ocean yet. We still have California around. That's a good thing. Yeah, so we had some questions that I'm going to get right into it. Hi, Rick in Maine. Nice to see you. And by the way, when on Fridays, when I post and people leave a question, Brian in Chicago, I hope you're doing well, Brian. Anyway, it's usually somebody's question inspires me to come up with Angie in Michigan, to come up with the theme of the video. So that was it. How do you keep customers? And that would be Rhonda Klein. She asked a very good question. And Gordon, I was just talking about how great that article was. I took your image and then I copied and pasted what you wrote because I get more viewership than if I just shared it. That's a point that all of you can learn from that because of the Facebook algorithm, the way it's designed. So I wanted Gordon's, and I gave, of course, great credit to the brilliancy of Gordon Hester, man. Totally awesome dude. Christine Rogers in Montana. I hope you're doing well, Christine. So here was Susie Martinez. Susie Martinez had a question, And that is, she says, I can't seem to get the hang of this, talking about technology, using only technology to prospect. Our uplines and systems did not prepare us mentally for this. So how do I convince myself that this is how it will be done now? Well, I'm not saying it's always going to be like this, Susie. I was talking to a lady who's our general manager in Manila, Philippines, and Manila, Philippines has 20 million people, and they're in a lockdown, quarantine. It's military enforced. So that's pretty, tough, right? And she asked me to do a Zoom call to the leaders in that country, in the Philippines, on Sunday night, which I'm going to do. And that was what she wanted me to talk about was, hey, Josh in Knoxville, nice to see you. Yeah, that was great. Gordon's the bomb. What can I say? Anyway, but that's what she wants me to talk about, is using technology. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of them are already doing that. Already they're adapting. And these are ones who were resistant in the past, because in Asia, as well as Susie would know this, a lot of your Spanish like to get face-to-face, and they like to do meetings and things like that. And nothing wrong with that. There's nothing more powerful than getting together. That's more powerful than just imagine all of you that are on this call now. Wouldn't it be cool if you were in my game room right now, instead of us just doing a video chat? You think it might be more powerful and synergetic if we were together in the game room? Of course, you probably wouldn't listen to anything I got to say about network marketing. Everybody's going to want to shoot pool, play air hockey, and foosball, and all that stuff, all these games I have in this place. And if any of you play music instruments, I got a stage full of band equipment, and we would do that. Hey, Susie, talking about you now. So the thing about it is that getting together is far more powerful. We all know that. The question is, how practical is it? If you want to build a business, just like today, I did a Zoom call with a Chinese leader to a leader in Xinjiang, China. And that lady in Xinjiang, China is just tearing it up, man. She's just, really building a great team. But think about it. If for me to build a team in China, think about how practical is that right now? It's not very practical at all. If I got to hop a plane, where in the United States am I going to hop a plane and go to China? If I go to China, the government would instantly quarantine me for 2 weeks, because actually China went back to normal. Apple opened 53 stores there last week, and they've gone back to work. Most areas of China have done that. But in the United States, it's the reverse now. Now we're becoming what China was, back 2 months ago. So the thing about it is, it would be impossible for me to go to China and to build a business right now. So again, what I have a choice. I guess don't do it, right? Well, okay, here's what don't do it means. Don't do it means you're going to go broke, Susie. If you don't adapt and change, then you're not going to grow. If there's one good thing that this coronavirus is forcing networkers to do, it's learning how to leverage on technology, learning how to leverage on social media, where some have been resistant. I've even heard Spanish leaders being told by their uplines, oh, that social media stuff doesn't work. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's wrong. It's wrong. They're ignorant of the facts. I have friends that are 7-figure earners in different companies, and they do it strictly through social media and Facebook groups. That Chinese girl I mentioned, for example, some of her teammates are people that move millions of dollars through WeChat. That is an app that they use in China. Some of you may not have heard that. Well, again, if you're not connected to Chinese, then maybe you wouldn't. Different regions of the world use different types of apps. Like, for example, Korea, they like to use Line. Japan likes to use Line too. So again, I have those apps on my phone. so that when somebody wants to call me, they can do it and it doesn't cost them anything as long as they got Wi-Fi, right? Or if they want to text message me, or some use WhatsApp. Maybe some of you have WhatsApp on your phone. So I have different leaders in Southeast Asia that will use WhatsApp, even leaders in Central America or South America. So, different apps for different things, but in China, they use WeChat. So again, we have a choice here, and that is, do we adapt? I mean, think about it. Where is Sears today? Sears. Where is Kmart? What happened to Toys R Us? They did not adapt. Where are they today? These were legends in retail. Legends. Did billions and billions of dollars, and now they're out of business. And that was because they were unwilling. They just wanted to, hey, the way we did it always worked. We made billions, but the world changed, right? Amazon came in and crushed them. Actually, when it comes to Kmart, Walmart pretty much crushed them and crushed Sears. But then Amazon finished everybody out, and then Amazon was also crushing Walmart. Still is. But, still holding on, Walmart, but they're not making the profits anything near what they used to make, because Amazon dominates right now. So again, are we willing to change? Are we willing to do it differently? So, Susie, going back to that, and by the way, Susie, again, I've mentioned this girl before because I think she's such a, I'll have to do a Facebook Live and, together with her. But, she's downstairs and she's doing what? She's talking to people right now and working. But I use her because she's a perfect example of what you must do when you're going through something that neither any of you or our parents have ever gone through. And I say that because I compare this time to the Spanish flu of 1919. 600,000 died in the United States alone, but that killed more people than World War I or World War II together. And it's gaining momentum. It's gaining momentum in our country because it's in the United States, that is, because they haven't come around to looking at what China did, what South Korea did, what Taiwan did to really get control of it. So I don't know how bad it's got to get before they figure that out. So in the meantime, since this is bad, this means that you, number one, you need to take care of your own health. Number two, you need to learn how to work from home. And I've been doing it for 21 years. Yes, I go out and do meetings when I travel the world. We do meetings. But for the most part, when I'm at home, how I communicate, how I prospect is the way I'm doing it with you right now. I use Zoom. I do Zoom calls all the time. Now, back 21 years ago, we did, a lot of three-way calls. I still do some three-way calls. But for the most part, now people like to use visual communication platforms like Zoom. So I think it's perfect for that. And so now you might say, well, my prospects don't have Zoom. Well, then just call them on the phone. I mean, think about it. How would you, prospect people? I mean, if it's a warm market list that you're working, you're going to call them. Maybe you would go out and see them. Or you relied on a weekly meeting. Here's the problem with weekly meetings. And again, nothing wrong with them. They won't work now. See, here's the trap. I've told you in the past that, you need to utilize this along with what you're doing, not replace what you're doing. But now you got to replace what you're doing. That's right. Because you can't have meetings. You can't get together. A lot of Spanish, a lot of Asians want to get together. So now what you have to do is you have to learn how to use it. And because a lot of what many leaders have been taught is that technology is anti-relational. Well, it's totally stupid. Those same people that say that have smartphones. It's hypocrisy. Come on. Get rid of your smartphones and don't email. Just letter write, lick a stamp, put it on an envelope. Because you want to be relational, right? But that's the technology too. You could, just like in the movie Rocky, you could, You could open up the window and just yell, "Hey, yo, Radian, come on over here." Come on. I mean, we've got to learn how to use these platforms. Relationships are all about the connections. It's the emotional intelligence that comes across when you talk to somebody. If you're empathetic, if you're understanding, if you're a good listener, if you respond to their concerns, if you talk about what they're interested in. So those are things that build relationships. And yes, I can do it on a Zoom. I can do it through FaceTime. And I've been doing it. I speak from my house. I do Zoom calls to China, and 60 leaders. We did it the other day. I had 60 leaders on a Zoom call. Could you imagine? Let's say we didn't have coronavirus. I got to fly all the way to China. So I got to leave my home, leave my family, go all the way to China, right? Okay, there's that cost. And believe me, when you get over there, it's not cheap. And you stay in a nice hotel and all those things, you're going to you could roll out 10, 15 grand really easy. Or you could do Zoom calls and just spend some time, and it doesn't cost you any money. So the choice is ours. But now we don't have the choice, right? So now we have to learn how to use technology. So here's what Susie, if they don't have Zoom, then, and again, it's free. You can ask them to download the app. Say, "Hey, man, I'd love to see your face when I talk to you." And if they're willing to do that, great. And then just send them the link. It's simply a link. All they got to do is touch it. And boom, you're going to be talking. Or pick up the phone and call them. That's it. And that's what, but again, get good at sending a video. Again, the problem with weekly meetings, and here's the mindset. Let's say we do our meeting on Friday night. Friday night, we have super spectacular, the awesome, unbelievable, inspirational leader show up to do the presentation. And he always does a great job, inspires everybody, everybody signs up, right? Okay, that's great. The only problem with that is if he gets sick and he can't show up, right? Or he fell in love and decided not to show up that night and go out with his girlfriend. Or whatever. Or he got coronavirus and he died, whatever. Okay, who's going to do the presentation now? Because again, are we system reliant or are we people reliant? You need to be system reliant because you're screwed when you're people reliant. You really are. And I'll tell you what happens on Friday night when you're going to do that weekly meeting and you invite somebody and people are doing like this. It's like 1 minute before 7 o'clock and the presentation's supposed to start. Everybody's doing this. Didn't show again. Didn't show. She told me she would come to the meeting. Yeah, and then what do? We say, well, that's okay. I'll invite her again next week. There will be a meeting next Friday. And for the next 6 days, you're out of business. I mean, I'm serious. South Korea, I had this conversation with a leader one time. I wanted to know what are you doing? She says, I want to grow faster. I said, okay, you want to grow faster. Tell me what you're doing. She says, well, on Monday, I'm in this city. On Tuesday, I'm in that city. On Wednesday, I'm in that city. And then Thursday and Friday, these other cities. I said, wait a second. Let's go back to Monday. Monday, you're in this city. And you're doing the meeting. She said, yeah. When you leave the city, what do they do Tuesday through Sunday? What are they doing? She said, I don't know. I said, that's not a system. That's not a system. They need to have a tablet or an iPad, whatever, with a PowerPoint on that and a video that you use, or a few different videos for different purposes. Maybe a video that explains product, a video that explains the business, your opportunity. In other words, you're equipping them so that they will succeed. They need to know how to present when you're not around. And also, I want you, when you're there on Monday, I want you to pull them out of their chairs and start assigning them parts. I want them talking. We're not in the entertainment business. She got it. And I said, I want you to do that in all the cities you go through until leaders can do what you do. And then after you leave town, then they have everything they need to do the business. So Susie, I want you to think about that too. That's the Achilles heel in your networking strategy. And that's the reason why many are not growing, because they are people reliant, not system reliant. Okay, we spent enough time on that. But start, learn how to change, learn how to adapt. And then listen, and when the coronavirus is gone and it's safe to do meetings again, you're still going to use technology. If this taught you anything, it taught you that you're missing out a lot by not doing this. Okay, so now we go to Andrina in Texas. I can't believe she has a question. She's so thoughtful. She said, I've been encountering people who want to do the business but have no income. And by the way, friends, if you want to post a question, our good old Fred George out there from New York City, he's hunkered down. Send him some love when you can. Anyway, he'll screenshot your question and send it to me. She said, I've been encountering people who want to do the business but have no income coming into their homes right now, therefore cannot afford monthly consumption. I've been giving them options, but I want your take on it. Okay, totally valid concern. Great question, as you always ask great questions, and I understand that. So again, you're talking to the guy who had no money when he started. Okay, I started in this by selling a junk truck. I sold it for $400. I mean, I had no money. And that's all I focused on, because generally what we do is we think no money, right? And so, Tony Robbins always said, you're thinking about what you don't want, what you don't have. But my question is, can you be resourceful? Can you be resourceful? See, I wasn't being resourceful. I was just thinking about lack. I was thinking about absence. I was thinking about what I don't have. And then I sat on the porch, and then finally this voice shouted out, I'm so sick of your attitude, man. Let's think about what we can do to change this. And then I looked out and I saw the only thing left from my bankrupt business was a junk truck. The motor didn't start, a tire was flat. And I said, that's it. And matter of fact, I was sharing this. I was sharing this story just the other day with Sean. You know who I'm talking about, Mindy. One of Tony Robbins, his lion leaders that he uses on stage. Incredible man. He was so inspired by my story. And but anyway, I said, that's my ticket out of here. That's my ticket out of here. Now, somebody's heard me say that at that very moment, that a junk truck is my ticket out of this madness, being broke, and that somehow that's going to put me in a position where I'm going to be yielding money the rest of my life. They would say I was the most stupidest dreamer out there, right? But see, I knew the outcome. I knew the outcome. And I knew that the only thing I needed was to get started. Now, that didn't mean that everything that, a genie was going to appear and I'm rubbing a lamp and then boom, I got all this money. No, I know that. But I knew I had to get started. If I was going to have the result I was looking for, it begins with action. You got to take action. And so when I saw that junk truck, I said, that's it. That's my ticket out of here. And I called the junkyard. He came out and said, I'll give you $400. I said, take it. And I put $200 into food, and I put $200 into my network marketing business. And it yielded exactly what I was wanting to accomplish. I was able to get some product. I got an ID number so that now I could start sponsoring people. I could start building a team. I could start building, he threw me off. Building a business. Do you have anything you want to say? Anything? Nothing? Say something positive. Oh, he's got his sword. You know, I don't know what it is. It's either a lightsaber or a sword he walks around with all the time. I don't know who we're at war with here. Do you know who we're at war with? The Empire, is that it? Okay. So the thing was, all I needed was just to get started. And that's what I did. So going back to that, so when somebody says they have no money, then first of all, I'm not going to tell them that they have a bad attitude or that that they, do have money when they're not being honest, even though they probably do, but they're thinking, I need this for food. I need this to pay the electric bill or whatever. Just tell them, I got a friend, Jeff. I'm sure your circumstances aren't like him, but, he was flat broke, bust, went through bankruptcy, had no money coming in whatsoever. And what he did was, instead of just focusing on that, he got resourceful and he just sold a junk truck to get started. Really, here's what, let's say her name is Debbie. Say, Debbie, I get what you're saying, that money's tight. Hey, I get that. All you need to do is, Debbie, just like Jeff, is just get started. So now Andrina, you were talking about monthly consumption. That is maintaining the monthly requirement. Okay. Well, that's all the reason why you've got to dig in with her and reassure her. Say, listen, let's run 1 month together. And if I can't help you to get started where you can at least bring in enough that's going to equal what you're paying out. If we can't do that after 1 month, don't do the second month. But you know what, Debbie? I think we can definitely do that. So that would be the one thing that I would reassure her on. I mean, I don't want her to have and sign up for an auto ship and then she's not going to do the business. See, again, going back to this video, how do you keep customers, in a time of uncertainty? Well, the way you're going to have to do that is you're going to have to show customers how to get their products for free. And you've got to get them to the break-even point. So in other words, think about your product. Why did your customer become a customer? What was it about that? If you're in a health and wellness, for example, then just ask them this question. Say, hey, I'm sure you got family members or friends that you love and care about that you want to keep them with you as long as you can. Well, let's reach out to them, introduce the product to them, and you'll have customers and you'll have income that will be equaling out, or we can work at it. We can work at it over a period of, let's say, a month, our first month together. It will equal out what you're putting out. It'll equal what you're putting out. There we go. That's where we got to show them how to do that, how to get their products for free. Say, you don't have to do the business, but what we're going to do is people that you care about, we're going to share the product with them. And you might say, well, what if those people come up with the same objection, Jeff? They don't have a lot of money either, and blah, blah. It's the same strategy. And that is, we're going to show those people how to reach out to people they care about so that when they purchase, the money they get back is going to equal what they're spending out. I don't care how far deep you go with this thing, that is always the strategy with everyone. And let's not go to the premise that you're going to run out of people with 8 billion people on the earth, okay? That's never happened, never will. Amway never did it, and they've been around longer than anybody, okay? But, and the other thing too is if they have a credit card, and so it's not cash, then that's also a thing that, hey, what we'll do is we're going to hustle. And before that is due, where you got to pay on that credit card, we're going to bring in enough business just to get you going. Again, a lot of this is going to come back, Andrina, to your leadership and the confidence that they have in you. And listen, you need to have confidence in you. I have confidence in you. I've seen your videos. You're sharp. You're believable. Okay? So, the lies we tell ourselves, the fears that we have, let's chase those demons away with the truth. The truth is you can do it. You can do it. And if you need just some, if you need more, more emotional support, then listen to Tony Robbins every day before you begin your day, okay? Here's a question from, this is Christine Rogers. I just saw this. Hello, Christine, in Montana. What can you say to someone that is on the fence about joining a home-based business because they feel that everyone is holding tight onto their money in these uncertain times? Again, earlier I did a post this week, a written post. You can look at my page in Facebook, and I talk about that. I talk about that that when we reach we get these encounters or these objections, whatever you want to call them, I always say it's not about what it's going to cost you, it's about what you're going to make. Wouldn't you agree? Anything that's going to yield something great costs you something in the beginning. On the other hand, if you just hold on, something is eventually going to get that money. Eventually, you're going to run out of that money if you're just holding on to what you got. If we're not growing, then we're going the other way. Wouldn't you agree with that? And wouldn't you agree? And this is something that Tony Robbins said. Sir John Templeton, who came from a small little town in Tennessee, the town I came from, Winchester, a town nobody ever heard of. He was the first billionaire in the stock market. And that was during the Great Depression, when everybody pulled out their money, whatever. He had $5,000. That's all he had to his name. And he took that money and he put that money in companies that were credible companies. And when the stock market came back, he became a millionaire, multimillionaire. The money is made in the winter. And yes, there will be people that will freeze to death because they want to hold on to what they have. This is what I tell people. If you can hold on. Something's eventually going to get it. Or you can take action and take a little bit of that money and do something with it and grow it. Again, it'll come down to your leadership, Christine. People, what we have to do right now, friends, is we have to show leadership in these times. There's a lot of scared people out there. And I say that their fear is valid. Fear is useful to a point. And then it gets to a point where it's not useful. It doesn't serve us. So in other words, I'm not going to go out and hang out at the beach with thousands of people, think I won't get coronavirus, right? Or go socialize in groups or go to, whatever, See, fear is useful to a point. We don't want to get that, right? I mean, there was a guy in Miami, I heard today, good night, man. The guy was 40. A lot of people think that, you have to, if you're not 70 years old, this thing won't kill you. But I mean, there was a guy who was 42 years old in Miami. He felt fine, nothing wrong with him. Decided on Tuesday to go get checked and found out he was positive. On Thursday, he died. Okay. Crazy. I don't understand that virus. We'll understand about it later, maybe years from now, the full impact. But I can understand people's fear. But here's the thing. As leaders, we have to provide leadership in times of uncertainty and give people confidence. Show them that, this is bad. I want you to be safe. Let me show you how to have a home-based business. And if you have just a little, that's okay. I just need a little of the little to get you started. And I'm going to run with you, and I'm going to get you that money back, and then I'm going to help you make money. And we're going to do the same thing with all the people. Believe me, all the people that you bring in are going to have the same concerns you have. But what we want to do is reassure them. All I need is a little of your little, and then I'm going to show you how to bring in a lot. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring in a lot. I need a little of your little, and then we're going to bring in a lot. And again, Christine, you got to give our voice, our tonality has got to come across where we are absolutely confident about what we're saying. Do I sound absolutely confident? Doggone right I am. Because I've done it. I've done it in times of uncertainty. I'm the guy that started bust broke. I've been so broke they have no idea what broke is, a lot of these people. But I got resourceful and I did something about it. Now here's Angie. And so Angie says this, my question, Angie Shake, are you in the room? Yeah. That's right. And Mindy just said, Tony talks about winter and why this correlates to network marketing. Best time to start a home-based business. That's right. I'm going to tell you, you have a captured audience out there. We used to joke about China, and this girl here staying at my house, and she's working with, now they're not captured anymore. But guess what? She took advantage of that time while they were captured, got their attention. She built a team. Now her team is unleashing in China. Now, it's the same thing here in the United States and maybe countries that you are in, different countries you're in. A lot of people are homebound. You have a captured audience. Take advantage of it. This is and if anything, and the news media, even the President of the United States, Trump, is saying, find a way to work from home. And we've been demonized by Google, by others. Don't ever say that expression. You must always have a JLB. We want to tax your butt to death. Okay, so Angie Shank says, if you have been jumping from company to company trying to find your home, what's the best way to get people to have trust to purchase from you again? Well, Angie, you were probably in some previous companies that maybe they weren't a great company, but they had good products. I mean, here's the thing. Are you selling products? Because hopefully you're representing a product you're passionate about. I would simply tell my friends, I've been in some companies before. I've used some products that maybe you liked or I talked to you about. And it's taken me a while to really find what I'm looking for. And I really am passionate about this product. Again, tonality, belief, the power of conviction, the power of beliefs. I'm going to tell you, you get two leaders together. This person's in this company. This person's in that company. They're pitching one another. My question to you is, who wins? It's the person with the strongest belief. He will win every time. And that person will say, yeah, you're right. Gee whiz, man. Okay, man. Dude, I surrender. I'm going under you because I love your leadership. They'll join you just because they want to work with you. In times of fear, leadership is a safe haven for people. They're looking for people to believe in because they're lost. So don't join the lost club. Be that person, be that beacon of light. And that's what you have to be in times of uncertainty. You have to be a beacon of light, and people will come to you. And this is, I've never seen a time of uncertainty like right now. I mean, you're talking about this problem with this, plague that's plaguing the earth, and at the same time, stock markets, going beep, economy, people are losing their jobs. I mean, gosh, talk about times of uncertainty. So here's the thing. But this is your opportunity to shine and be a beacon of light to others. See, it's not about the next company, Angie. It's about who's Angie. Is Angie going to step up? Is Angie going to be a leader? That's the thing. And then Rhonda, who inspired me to do this video, that is the title of it. How do you keep your customers from bailing in times of uncertain income? Again, reinforce the value of your product, because a lot of leaders don't do that. They just sign people up on auto ship. And later people forget, let me see, why am I taking this product? I forgot. What was it she told me? Let me see. It's an immune system product, or it's a vitamin. It's good for, shoot, I don't remember what it's good for. But I got someone else talking to me about this other product, and that product sounds, man, that's an incredible product. Increases natural killer cells in the body. It does this, it does that, blah, 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 blah. See, that's the thing. And that's the reason why people get off auto ship, because number one, you're not sending out emails. You should be dripping on your people. Make sure you got your customers' emails. You can be sharing stories, experiences, what's happening with people using your product. What does that do? It reinforces belief. I talked about belief, the power of belief. If you believe in your message, if you believe in your product, if you believe in your profession, if you believe in working from home, if it comes across and you're selling it and they're believing it, they're staying with you. But again, people will forget. They will always forget why they bought your product, because you did such a spectacular job explaining it. But what happens over a period of time? They forget what it's about. They get off auto ship. So have their email addresses, drip on them, number one. Number two, add them to a Facebook group, product group. So again, that group can do what? Reinforce why they made that decision. And so now they feel like they have to have your product. They're emotionally linked to your product. Congratulations. Okay, but now, again, money gets tight. I understand that, but here's what you're going to have to do. Now that money's tight, they haven't been they didn't have time to really analyze your business opportunity, or they were too busy for your business. They're not so busy now. They're not so busy now, are they? This is the time to leverage. This is not the time to come up with red light stories about why our customers are going to drop off. This is the time to go back to them and say, hey, I know you've been loving this product because you've been a loyal customer. I appreciate that. But you know what? Have you been open to the idea of what President Trump said about having a home-based business, working from home? Because you love the product, why not let me spend some time with you? I'd love to do that and run with you, and let's get some income going. I'd like to show you the power of this business model and what it could do for you. How does that sound, friends? Have I got you sold? Just do it. That's what you got to do. Do it. Take your customers, and now, because they love your product, they're familiar with your product, now get them to promote the product and start building a business. And they might have been the people say, well, I'm not good at sales, or I'm not, I don't know about the network marketing thing. You get them involved in the concept of residual income. Say, I agree. Well, I'm not a salesperson. I never was into sales. I never was into network marketing. I'm just into people, I'm just into people. I love sharing ideas. I'm enthusiastic about the product. I just love sharing it with you. And when people order, I get paid. And when they introduce it to others, I get paid on them. I'm not an expert at this. I just make good money at it. That's all. So, and then we have Rick, who said, what would you recommend for leaders that are not supportive to some of their team members? How should the teammates handle it? Okay, so I get that. There's a lot of people that are in our upline that make money off what we do, and they don't contribute any value to it. That's too bad. It's really too bad. It's unfortunate. Matter of fact, I never hear from my upline, hardly ever. So, Rick, I don't hear from my upline either. Hey, what's up with you guys? Do you know how much money I make you? Okay, so, but you know what? I got a choice. I can quit and try to find a grateful upline. Probably what's going to happen is that I'm not going to find one. I'm going to join another company and I'm going to find another ungrateful upline. That could happen. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, I joined for my reasons, not their reasons. I joined for my dreams, not their dreams. I joined for what I could get out of it, not what they are going to get out of me. So that's what I have to focus on. The question is, if do you really do you know how to do this business? Do you have the tools to do it? Are you equipped? Do you have everything that you need? Now, if they don't have tools, if there just isn't any support, and there is no system, then you have to make a call. And if you're not that deep with people, you might want to look for a different company. That's it, or a different team. So that's the thing that you might have to. On the other hand, if you have a line, you're deep with people, then obviously there's something good going on. There's a reason for it. I want you to find the reason. And if you say, well, it's because our product's so great, okay, then that's good. Then be the person that you wish your upline would have been, and be that for your team. And teach others how to mentor each other. That's the thing that I would do. I would find that. Find what is driving your team, because if it's growing, then there's something making it grow. And don't be, I'm just telling you, I don't hear from my upline. I don't, guys. My upline is God. I'll go to him in prayer and say, give me some wisdom, give me some help, tell me what I need to do. Or I got this problem, how do I handle this problem? Give me the wisdom. I'm totally lost without you. I tell you, that's one upline that has never deserted me. So now we're going to go to George. And George, okay, so Vilma from El Salvador says, and this is, again, a recurring question, so it's okay. Tell me, I have no money to start. I'm facing this virus situation. I'm going to tell you, I don't believe in the no money thing. So, but I wouldn't say call him a liar. Say, oh, you're lying to me, man. I know you've got some money. Say, you know what? I get that you have no money, but you got resources. Let's get resourceful. Let's think of how, to get started. Let's not focus on what you don't like, what you don't have. Let's think of how to get started. And I'm going to tell you something. Most companies, you can sign up for free and get an ID number. If you don't even have a junk truck to sell, then let's get you an ID number and let's get you started. And then run with that person. That's what I would say, Vilma, is run with that person. Start doing three-way calls with them. Tell people how they can get started with so little, and to turn it into a lot. Yes, these are uncertain times. I agree. Uncertainty. It's all around us, okay? But I promise you, there is gold in uncertainty. I'm telling you that millionaires are made in uncertain times, with uncertainty. When it looks the worst. I talked about Sir John Templeton from the town I'm from in Winchester, Tennessee. Became the first billionaire and first millionaire, by the way, in the stock market. Tony Robbins talks about him all the time. I have his books here. And that was such a depressing time. They call it the Depression because everybody got depressed. No wonder they had a depression. No wonder things were so bad, because there was so much focus on what they didn't have. They were focusing on how bad it was. What we have to do as leaders is help them see the opportunity in this uncertainty. Say, yeah, I know how you feel. When I looked at the past in history, I found that fortunes were made by people who saw beyond the uncertainty. They saw the opportunity in the tragedy. Do you think we can find one here? I think I found one. That's what I want to talk to you about. And you can actually do this from your home. We got to find the language, friends. And those are some of the words. Come back to this video later. Write down what I said. Because that's how I deal with it. So Alex, I've been forced to use technology. Oh man, everybody! Alex has been forced to use technology! Alex, I'm sorry, man. I hope they didn't put a gun to your head, man. I'm just messing with you. I've been forced to use technology because of everything that is happening. Ow, ow, ow. Oh my gosh, I love these guys because they're so used to doing meetings, you know? I've been asking them to use it for years, and not to quit their meetings, by the way. But, you know, use it, man, because there's a whole different world out there you could capture if you did. Because of everything that's happening, but still, no one interested so far. Any suggestion to have people interested in the business? Okay, so here's the thing. And George, you'll have to translate Lorena. Hello, ¿cómo está, Lorena? Anyway, Alex, here's the thing. I don't know what you're doing, man. Again, there's some things that you have to do here, okay? And that is, if this is a warm market, people that you know, you need to find a good video. So first of all, imagine baseball. Because we're going to be getting into, I don't know if we're going to have much baseball going on. I hope it works out that we will. But look at it like a baseball diamond, you know, a diamond field, right? So first base is the invitation. That's where you invite somebody to look at what you're doing. The invitation is not a presentation. It's an invitation. That means we want to see if they're open. And again, the same language I've been using on this video that I'm doing right now, and that is to see if they're open. Say, hey, you know, President Trump has been saying we need to learn how to work from home. Have you ever thought about that? Would you like to work from home? Would that appeal to you? Asking good questions like that can open their minds. And so when they say, yeah, it might not a bad idea, or can you use some extra income? Of course, now a lot of them don't have jobs, right? But even if they do, boy, a plan B sure sounds good right now. So, because that gives them what? More certainty, okay, in uncertain times. So, either way, that's an invitation. And when they say, well, yeah, what is it? What is it? Then now you're going to go to base 2. Again, the invitation is not a presentation. If you come out and just say, and you just throw up all over them, of course you wouldn't do that. But anyway, you dump everything out. They're probably not going to be interested. That's the reason why videos are very important, because they need to visually see what you're talking about. So they don't need to just hear it, they need to see it, okay? You want to exercise the other senses, right? So that's base 2. So you want to send them the video. Send them the video. Now, you don't send them the video if they're not ready to look at it yet. Say, well, that's great. I'm glad you're interested in that, John. I'll tell you what, do you have 10 minutes now to look at that video? If they say, well, no, I'm busy right now. Oh, okay. When would they say, well, just send me the video. I'll look at it when I get some time. Say, you know what, John, I want to serve you right on this, and I really want to show you how to do it right. That wouldn't be the way to do it. So here's what I'd like to do is just set an appointment with you so I can really help you to see the value in what we have here. See, first of all, Alex, you're the consultant. You're not the salesperson. You got to divorce yourself of the consequences of what you're going to get out of it and why you need it. This has got to be their decision. This has got to be in their best interest, not your best interest. So you being the consultant, you know it's not in their best interest just to send the video. Because first of all, you're not going to know if they look at it or when they looked at it. Maybe not anyway. Some technologies allow that. But in this case, you want to set that time. So, well, John, when would you have time to look at it? Well, tomorrow morning would be fine. Okay, great. Yeah, when's a good time to get a hold of you? Oh, I'm usually up and running by 9 o'clock. Okay, fine. I'll tell you what. I'll text you at 9, okay? And if that's a good time, I'll send you the link then. But what I'm going to do then is I'm going to call you at 9:15. How about that? Well, that's great. The next day, you're going to do that. You're going to do what? You're going to do just what you said. That's part of base 2. The second base is doing the presentation or sending them the presentation when they said they would look at it. They said at 9 o'clock was good. You don't send the presentation. You don't send the video at 9 o'clock. You message them and say, hey, John, good morning. Good morning, John. So is this a good time now for you to look at it? And when they text you back, yeah, say, okay, I'll call you at 9:15. I'm going to tell you something. What happens, Alex, is we don't have the process moving forward. There has to be a flow to this if it's going to work. Why? Because you have to understand you're training them while you're prospecting them at the same time. They're also getting to see how you show up as a sponsor. Are you going to be somebody like many people's upline who don't follow up, don't care, don't do what they say they're going to do? They just want to make the money. Okay? All right. So you got to show them the process. And so you're training them. You're training them how to do the invitation, base 1, how to do the presentation, base 2, by sending the video. And then base 3, now we're going to base 3. What is that? You said you're going to call them at 9:15. That's called the follow-up. Now you're going to follow up. And then when they say, well, gee whiz, because of the coronavirus situation and work situation and money's tight, say, wow, you know what? You're right. Mandy, and this is going to be perfect for you. It's going to be, and he's listening, it's perfect for you because it costs so little to get started. And what I'm going to do is run with you, and I'm going to help you make money. Again, I talked about this the other night. People have 4 questions in their mind, even if they're not asking. What is this? That is, what is your opportunity? The product? Does it have value? 3, can I make money? 4, can I get help? Or am I off on my own? That's a big fear, right? And there's already enough fear in this time of uncertainty. So you need to make sure you cover all 4 of that when you get to base 3. Again, if he has any questions about it, do not buy into excuses. Do not buy into their fear. You are the leader. You're the one that's supposed to show courage and direction when there's fear. Then they'll believe in you. Well, if you say, well, I don't really feel like a leader. It's time for you to feel like a leader. Come on. This ain't a time for us to be wimpy. We got to step up. Be a man. Be a woman. Come on. Be who you are meant to be. Leaders are born during crises, or they're created during crises like this. Okay? You have to show them. So it costs a little to get started. And don't try to sell them $1,000 package. This ain't the time for that. What do they got to do to get started? What's the minimum to qualify to get their residuals? I've told people many times through the years, I don't care how you start. In other words, the amount of money, the amount of products you buy. I don't care how you start. I'm more interested in you getting started. I'm not interested in making a percentage off of selling you something. I'm interested in making a smaller percentage on what I'm going to make off you the rest of my life. And I'm going to be vested in your success. I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to help you in this journey. I'm not going to leave you. You have to reassure them because they have fear. So that you cover that in base 3. Then you bring them home. You bring them home. Home is what? You sign them up. You enroll them. You get them going. Get them making that list. Onboard them. If you have an onboarding video, fine. If you want to just teach them verbally what they got to do, you got a few baby steps, and that's all you need is a few. If it's more than 3, you got a complicated system. So, Alex, what is your video that you're using? And do you use platforms like, are you plugging them into a Facebook product group? See, the problem is there's a lot of leaders around the world that the meetings are important to them. I get that. You're not going to be doing that now. You can come back to that later. But it becomes like church. It's like a household of faith, right? And then you got people that are coming up front and they're giving testimonies how they got saved, right? And so you had that in your meetings. And you're like, wow, what am I going to do now? Facebook groups. You've got to learn how to plug in and use the platforms, use the technologies. So again, you got to show them you have a system. In the absence of a system, there is chaos. In the absence of system, and this guy used to do the meetings for you, Mr. Inspiration, Mr. Superman. He's not too super now, right? Because he's not there anymore. And then a lot of people say, wow, man, that was the leader. No, why weren't you the leader? Why weren't you the leader? This is the time you got to make up your mind. Do you want to make money in network marketing? Because you can't make it playing small. You will never make it playing small. I can't rely on Mr. Inspiration. I don't even believe in inspiration. I believe in systems and teaching people how to do things. They got to find their own motivation. If their children aren't their own motivation, they're a lousy father. If they have no dreams, why did you sign up? You should take your money, do something else. Don't come in this thinking you're going to make a lot of money and you have nothing to motivate you. So again, then you have to at this time be that leader, show them leadership, and that's all, friends. I'm telling you, you could make a fortune with this in this time of uncertainty. And I'm not saying that there won't be some bumps. I'm not saying that there won't be some hard times. I'm not saying there's not going to be some months and you're going to say, holy crap, what's going on? I mean, next month, my company, there might be a disruption in the United States as far as shipping. There might be disruptions in different countries that I have a lot of volume coming from. And, and nothing, what's going to happen? That might mean checks are going to crash. It could happen. If it happens, I'm not going to lose faith. I'm not going to freak out. I understand that it's not going to last. It will pass. You'll still have your downlines. You'll still have your company. You'll still have your products. It's not the end of the world. We just got to get real about that and say, you know what? If something comes my way, it knocks me down, guess what? I'm getting up because I'm going to kick it in the butt. I'm going to kick it to the moon. Because I'm not the kind of person that is just going to lay on the floor and say, oh, it's over, I'm destroyed, I'm ruined. I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. Because I've been kicked down enough in my lifetime and I know how to get up. So the thing is, it's time to be a leader. So, and then just do that, lead. And then, so George just said, Lorena said she is broke like you. Well, thank you, sweetheart. Well, broke like you were, but she believes in you and she wants to be like you. Lita from Peru says, thank you. I was doing network marketing half-hearted in meetings and half technology now, and I realize I need to do the business from home. Again, you people that do meetings out there, later on, you can still go back to your meetings when it's safe. I'm not against meetings. I'm all for it. And you have great uplines that again, you know, that encourage meetings, and I see the value. I love getting together. Believe me, what would be a bigger impact? Listening to an audio, you know, some of Pitbull's music. I listen to it when I'm in the gym, and I get excited, and I'm working out. Or being at a Pitbull concert. A concert would be far more exciting, right? Oh my gosh, the synergy, the people, the fact that you're around the people and all that. So I get that. You can get back to your meetings later on and events later on. I mean, some of you had some conventions probably planned. You're not having those, right? I know we had an Asian convention planned. It's canceled. We got a trip going to Bora Bora for the leaders. Don't know that that's going to happen. You know what? It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We've got to keep our eyes focused on the most important things. The most important thing is take advantage of this situation and build a business. Learn how to build it from your home. And I also want to say, don't make any crazy claims right now about your product. The FDA, the FTC, they're working from home too. And they're watching what some people, and I've noticed this, I noticed Tina.org was, there were some top leaders making some crazy claims. And stupid. There's no reason why we need to do that on our Facebook profile pages. We do not need to do that. You can get this done, talk about your product responsibly, when you prospect, without posting crazy stuff on your page. Don't do that to your company, okay? Because again, we never promote our products as drugs. And no doubt, you know the value of your product, you know what your product can do, that's right. But just understand that you can't make claims on your pages, but when you talk to them on the phone, or you're talking to them on Zoom, you can tell them what you know and what you're passionate about. And you can share your stories. But just don't post on your page, because they got these little spiders that crawl all over the web looking for keywords, and they're looking for claims, and they would love to get you and your company in trouble. Okay? Be smart about that, all right? And I know, because a lot of companies out there, their compliance department, I mean, I talked to the lady that's in charge of our compliance department, and I could tell she was stressed, and I said, what can I do to make your job better? What can I do? She said, tell people not to make claims on their Facebook profile pages. Sure, I'll do that. No problem. Don't do it. How many people ever sell products by doing that, by the way? Very few. Very few. Doesn't work. So again, when you prospect, share your stories, whatever, on your phone, on a Zoom with the prospect. Get involved with your leaders. Make sure your leaders aren't buying into fear. This is your time as an upline to show courage to your leaders, saying, guys, I know times are tough. What's that old saying? Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Tough times don't last, but tough people do, and I know you're one of them. Come on, man. We're going to take this tragedy and we're going to make something good come out of this. This is our time. There's a lot of people not open to network marketing in the past. They're going to be totally open to it now. Totally open to it. Totally open to working from home. And George is just trying to work me to death. He just sent me something here. And he says, this is from Guatemala. Pablo, ¿cómo está? Mr. Jeff, I'm from Guatemala, but currently I'm living in, Lebanon, Tennessee. You're a Tennessean, man, just like me. And I would love to have more information about the business so I could start. Oh, okay. Well, all right. So then, you just, sure. If you want to learn how to do network marketing from your home, I mean, just what I shared on this video should help you. So thank you. So listen, guys, I want you to stay strong. And thanks. Some of you asked some very good questions, excellent questions. Today, when I asked for that, you came up, and the questions were very right on and appropriate for what we're going through in a time of uncertainty. But just remember, there's so much opportunity in times of uncertainty, and people are they're allowing fear to inflame them, and just focus on the problems. And what I want you to do is, I want you to take advantage of this, but not in the sense of that we talk about our products and we make claims and, blah, blah, blah. I just said not to do that. This is the time to show people that your product has great value. It costs so little to get started, and show them how quickly they can get their money back and be in profit, and they're making money from home. Be enthusiastic. Have enthusiasm when you talk about your, not crazy though. I'm talking, don't scare them. Okay. But I'm saying have enthusiasm, because enthusiasm is contagious. But at the same time, be the leader. Have leadership tonality in your voice when you speak. They need to sense certainty in the tone of your voice in this time of uncertainty. People are looking for beacons of light. They're looking for leaders. They're looking for people to believe in. It's crazy. I mean, we got some of the most stupidest politicians in the United States. Oh my gosh. I can't believe people voted those people in office, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, just to listen to them. And these are leaders? What a joke. I'm just saying, this is what they're looking for. They're looking for leadership. And they're looking for a safe haven. And you can show them how to build an income from their home, from their iPad, from whatever they use, their PC, their computer. Show them, run with them. This is your time. If you ever couldn't get people to look at what you do, you have a captured audience now. Take advantage of it. If you don't do that, man, you're missing out. You're missing out big. Take advantage of this time of uncertainty, when there's so much opportunity in uncertainty. This is your time to be able to build like you never built before, to go to that rank level like you never went before. When you couldn't get people to look at you, and now you have a captured audience. And all I'm asking you to do, and you might want to rehearse, maybe spend some time rehearsing. Get in front of a mirror. Get in front of a mirror and start using some of these expressions. And if you just got on this live now, just do replay. These expressions that I gave you, what to say to them, to your prospects, and say it with conviction. Because they're looking for leadership. They're looking for leadership more than they're looking for, they're not even looking for your product. They're not. They're looking for what? Solutions to their problems in life. And man, do they have problems. Globally, all over the world now, people are having problems like never before. Now it's up to you, the leader, with a voice of certainty in an uncertain time such as this, to have that voice of certainty and tell them this is it. And I need your time, just a little time. Well, they got nothing but time now. So this is your moment to shine. Don't give in to weakness. Don't give in to fear. If you spend all your time watching TV constantly about how the coronavirus is killing people, because that's what the media wants to do. They want you so afraid because they want you coming back and coming back. They want to feed that fear. Here's the thing. All I want you to do is be safe. Don't go out in public and all that and expose yourself, okay? Have some supplies at hand, food, things that you need for your family. If you have to go out, if you got a mask, whatever, wear it. If you're in an area, wear gloves if you want. All I'm saying, I wouldn't get in front of a cashier. You might want to self-check out, okay? Whatever you got to do, I want you to keep yourself safe and healthy, but stay home. And then what I want you to do is build a business. Build a business. This is your time. And this storm will pass. It will pass eventually. It passed in China. China, they're rocking. They're doing business. Taiwan, they're doing business. South Korea's coming back. So the thing about it is, but you have this window of time, and you have a choice. get sucked into that fear, be paralyzed by that fear, or every day, plug in, listen to take 30 minutes with Tony Robbins, and then after that, man, and even if you're at home, I don't care. You can find ways to exercise. Okay, get your physiology moving, okay? Do some of that. And then start calling people. Be positive. You're the person with the answers. You're not the person with the questions. You can do this. And I look forward to having you on my next call. Everyone, be safe this weekend. I love all of you, okay? But don't give in to fear. It's like I told people, it's not like we don't have a God. That's what I've told, some of my friends that are in the faith. I said, we are not people without a God. We know he's very much part of our life. And you heard me say earlier, my best upline is my God. I go to him. And he's not let me down. So keep that in front of you always. And I look forward to having you on my next call. Everyone, be safe. Have a great weekend.